Coming up today on Geek It Up, the Star Wars series is possibly heading to Netflix. The X-Men have finally locked down their Gambit, and a gaming giant fails to secure funding. There's only one place where you can get the latest news. It's time to Geek It Up. And we have the geeks assembled. Please welcome from Artists Without Borders, Rick Rosales, soon to be wed, Alec Palacios.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. And the creator of the Update Network, Zeus Asiwa over there. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining me once again.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Before we go on, there was something crazy that happened this past weekend that I wanted to touch on really fast. It was what was it called?
It was called Games Done Quick. Games Done Quick. It was a live Twitch stream for a full week where gamers were coming around from pretty much across the country and the world to raise funds for Doctors Without Borders. And what happened was, after the end of the week, they made over $1,230,000. But the way they did it was pretty much 24 hours, and guys were just playing like Super Mario 64 in 20 minutes, just speed running games and really killing my childhood. Like, I saw this one dude beat Castlevania's Symphony of the Night in an hour.
Wow.
Just 1 hour is just like
I don't know when the last time I sped run through a game. I don't think any of that. Maybe Mario. I think I played Mario Brothers 2. I tried to finish it as fast as possible.
I think I speedrun every game. I buy a game and I play until I finish it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a speed run is like, okay, cool, I could beat this really quick, and these guys pretty much break the game.
World records.
World records.
It's crazy, dude.
It's all for a good cause.
All for a
good
good
cause.
That shows the power of gamers, man.
Yeah.
Gamers can raise over $1 million for a charity.
And it's not even on TV. It was just all live Twitch stream.
Live
So
streaming.
if you guys want to donate, make sure you guys look them up. But so
Games
I
Done Quick.
found a couple of topics that I want your personal opinions
Sure.
on, because I think these are amazing. So first, on the hot plate today, while everyone is dusting off their lightsabers in anticipation for the new Star Wars Force Awakening movie this December, one little piece of information was quietly roaming around, namely about the Force itself. Around the web right now, rumors have begun to pop up about Disney teaming up with Netflix to create 3 new live-action Star Wars TV shows. So far, Disney is already creating Marvel-based shows, so a Star Wars version wouldn't seem too far-fetched. Now, is this oversaturation, or is this perfect timing?
I'm gonna totally go watch the movie cosplaying.
Really?
Yeah, do it. There's going to be a bunch of You're not going to be the only one.
I love the whole like dust off those lightsabers. Mine never needed dusting.
Okay, well,
The dust would burn off the lightsaber when you turn it on.
No, I'm really excited about that. I like what they did with Daredevil. That was such a good show.
Really good.
It was really good. And the idea of like maybe having a Boba Fett like TV show,
Well, prequel, side story.
No more prequels. We've already seen how that works.
I like that you bring up Boba Fett, because now they're already doing what is it, the Star Wars Rogue?
Rogue One.
Rogue One
Yes.
with Boba Fett and also with Han Solo. Yeah. So what else, Zeus? What else do you think they'd be able to do from here?
First, I want to touch on the success first that Disney with the TV also, because they have Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So it's not like surprising that they're going to do this. I think it's more of a fact than a rumor now, because it's a great plan. Yeah. And you said they could tap into the Old Republic. There's a lot of
I can totally see
They could tap into that and not affect canon. It can't affect anything.
It should affect canon.
Yeah.
I think stuff we can see maybe like Exar Kun. I'm saying really random.
Yeah, that may be going a little too far in.
Or even Ahsoka. I love seeing Ahsoka being like maybe her own TV show, because I know she's on with Star Wars Rebels. And something that really bugged me about the Clone War cartoon, which I loved, but I have all like Rex, like all these really awesome clone characters that I know are just going to turn around and become evil and like kill all the Jedi. But what Star Wars Rebels is doing, it's showing like, hey, some of the clones that you liked from that show didn't turn bad. They just
They could do Rebels.
Yeah,
also.
they became Rebels. So I think something like that would be really cool to see a TV show based off.
I personally think that they should go somewhere along the lines of the canceled Star Wars 1313 game. That that they canceled that, just kind of still within that Star Wars universe, but necessarily creating like newer characters. To kind of off balance. I really like that. Same with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what they did. They essentially took regular people and put them. Okay, so here you are in this world where everyone around you has superpowers. Now you got to survive. How do you survive as a normal person?
Do you guys think it's oversaturation? Too much Star Wars?
There's
never enough.
No. Is this? I gotta ask you guys this. Is this the first ever? If it does happen, is this the first ever live-action Star Wars show?
No.
TV show?
No, there was that.
Netflix. It will be the first thing.
For Netflix,
There was a weird like
in the 80s.
Ewok. It was with Wicket the Ewok and some weird witch. And I remember watching it as a kid and just being like, "This is dumb. Like I don't want to see this ever
yeah, it
again.
wasn't
No
very good
Ewoks,
at all.
please.
No
But,
Ewoks.
This
you know,
next show.
No Jar Jar Binks.
But again, I really think they should take it from the Star Wars 1313,
Yeah.
or again, I mean, there's all these characters that we saw within the original, well, not the original, I guess the Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3. You know, where they still had. I mean, who didn't love Samuel L. Jackson's character?
Oh,
you
dude,
know,
yeah.
Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Something like that would be really cool to follow up.
My
with.
lightsaber's the one that says "bad mother."
Yeah.
Who's talking about Mace?
Talk about Mace
love the
Windu.
prequels, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I saw merit to the last one, but I like them. Star Wars, more Star Wars is always good. I think maybe a series. I keep on talking about Boba Fett. You talk about 1313. I think that game was supposed to be him growing up, becoming a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
that'd be pretty cool.
He was going to be in it, but just partially. It was more just about stormtroopers or just regular people, rebels, just trying to exist within this world of the underground.
Mara
of,
Jade.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see a
Jay would be
mature
pretty cool.
themed show.
Yeah. I think it
Something
would be
along
great.
the lines of like for adults.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take that
Darky
aspect
gritty
of
team.
Boba Fett and Stormtroopers
Oh, okay.
and make it nitty
that
and
kind of
gritty.
adult.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking XXX adult. This kind
no,
of
no.
Netflix
We're talking about lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
We are in live television.
So yeah, but I really like the way they're going with
Yeah.
this, and again, I think they can do that. They can do a child one, they can do an adult themed one, and really kind of make it their own as far as going into Netflix. So
Yes.
I
Well,
think
it was
that'd be
also great on the movies. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it did.
As long as George Lucas does not touch it, I'm sorry.
Stay
George,
home. Stay
he's
home,
one of those
George.
like
Yeah.
George Lucas, Adam
got money
Sandler,
out
and
the
Tim Burton
wazoo.
are all in the same. Like, yeah, you did some awesome stuff when you're younger. Stop.
We should take a trip to
Skywalker Ranch?
Skywalker Ranch. We'll film the entire way
That'd be
and see
great.
how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
We'll do that. But you know what? Speaking of Star Wars and George Lucas, they were a really great team way back when.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore. But there have actually been more great pairs in life. Milk and Cookies, Sonny and Cher, and now Channing Tatum and 20th Century Fox, as we will now see. I'm serious. We will now see the movie star close his deal to bring the Cajun with the red eyes to life. The film Gambit is expected to begin filming very soon, actually in the next few months. Channing did say the fact that the movie required an almost decade-long commitment, which was one of the
Wow.
sticking points of the negotiations. No word yet if we will see the character in the newest film, but do we want him anywhere near Apocalypse to
Nope.
begin with anyway?
No.
Well, I don't think anybody should be near Apocalypse. or
Ivan Ooze.
Looks like
Ivan
looks like
Ooze,
Ivan
yeah.
Ooze.
But no, we were just talking about this earlier. I like Channing Tatum. He really won me
doesn't,
over
right?
with 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to do I don't want to say an excellent job, but he's going to do a mediocre job. I
Yeah.
think he's
Isn't he from Louisiana though? Like he really is
think
from
he is, yeah.
Louisiana.
Is he?
so I
We're going to have
think
to
he might
IMDb this while we're on the
Fact
air right
checking,
now.
but
yeah.
still.
People have heard him
know.
do an impersonation or an accent in the Cajun accent.
Yeah.
They said it, and they've said that it's really good.
There's a lot of info I read on this guy on Gambit. There was a lot of things, but the one that stick out the most was the budget for the film. It will be the most expensive X-Men solo movie yet.
Okay,
with
that's good.
with a budget of $155 million.
Really?
Look, that can't be right. I mean, that seems
that's what
too
they're
high
reporting.
Going
because
all out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to really make
Taking a risk.
a box office take. You have to have maybe 65,000. Sorry,
65 million?
65 million to be able to keep that kind of pacing. And
Yeah, that's a big
That's
risk
a
for
big
Tatum.
risk.
Money.
They're-
Channing Tatum.
and they're putting a lot of faith in him. You know,
Yeah, they are.
I didn't really say I hate Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really didn't care for him. He's like, oh, he's just one of those pretty boy actors like Freddie Prinze Jr. And then 22 Jump Street came out,
Yeah.
or 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. It's like, dude, this guy's hilarious.
He is.
And then
He's funny,
But
This Is the End came out. It's like Channing
Yeah.
Tatum, yum. I was like, dude, this guy doesn't have to take himself seriously. He's
Yeah.
awesome.
He's really good. I
But
like that. I
you
like
know,
that.
I don't see him as the character. I
Okay.
don't imagine him when you look at him. Pop him back up one more
talking
time.
about looks-wise.
Yeah, looks wise. I don't see Gambit in him. Look when he pops.
Well, did you
back
see
up
the
right now-
Joker and Heath Ledger?
No.
Yeah,
Oh
he is.
well, no, but
I'm
he
saying,
did a
don't-
really good job with it. But
He
I
might
mean,
be able to do a good job too, man.
I don't know. Maybe
I also read that Fox is trying to cement him as the Gambit, like a
Like
successor.
Wolverine?
Yeah,
Like Wolverine.
like
Like
a successor
Wolverine,
to
yeah.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. They want to do that.
to kind of keep him around for a
Yeah.
really long
Well,
time.
Gambit's an
and
awesome character. He's one of my favorites in
Yeah.
the comics. When I mean, I really got into comics at the end of the 80s, early 90s, and what happened then was that amazing X-Men cartoon. So
Yeah, the animated
I mean, it was
series,
kind
yeah.
of hard not to love Gambit and want him a rogue to totally be now kiss. You know what I mean? And
and then
get
him
power-
pass out.
And
from-
kill
Yeah, I
him.
know. And
Yeah.
just,
Fucking
that
hell.
was the great. I was oh, Peter Parker and Mary Jane. It's no, man, Rogue and Gambit, dude.
Yeah.
That was the coolest.
So
that guy is great.
The past couple weeks we have avoided the conversation and the topic of it, but we have to mention it. Apocalypse looking like Ivan Ooze, which is probably the
Go,
biggest
go,
disappointment.
Pablo,
Yeah.
And one of the weirdest things is that I follow cosplayers on Instagram and stuff like that, And there's one cosplayer that looks fantastic, who nailed it. You know, and then they couldn't do it on.
Was it 3D printed? His costume? I forgot. No.
No, with the cosplayer or the
cosplayer. I think they 3D printed.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, Zeus and I, that despite the costume and the way he looks, the performance is going to be really good.
It's Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
So
Isaac.
I'm hoping that the performance at the very end is going to be well enough to kind of push it through. Like, it looks horrible. It looks awful.
Like Quicksilver in X-Men. We thought, oh, he looks so lame, and then it became the best scene of the movie.
Yeah, Quicksilver cool. Well, I don't know.
We don't know, man.
You never know. You can't judge a book by its cover. It's the same thing with Channing Tatum's like, oh, he looks terrible. Maybe he looks awesome. But at the same time, too, in my brain, like if you, it's like having Wolverine. What's like, all right, like Gambit, for instance. If you had like purple hair, because that's what the kids like nowadays, stupid.
Yeah. Well, you know, and this brings up a good point to what we were talking about earlier with the Star Wars prequels, that a lot of the newer movies aren't made for us anymore. They're made for the kids. Jar Jar Binks, as much as we all hated him, the kids love Jar Jar Binks, you know, and
we'll never know.
Yeah, and so we'll never know.
I will say we hate him out loud, but maybe in our rooms at night it's just like, you know, we still love you, Jar Jar.
So it's the same with this. I mean, we might not like him, but they might like him. But you know what? Moving on. So when the father of Mega Man, let me see if I can say his name right, Keiji Inafune, announced he was creating a new game in the spirit of Rock Band, everyone went crazy. Then, before the game was even launched, he announced a new game called Red Ash, and things weren't looking as great anymore. Since its announcement, the Mega Man Legends spin-off has been mirrored in confusion and disappointment. Comcept was looking for funding, then actually said, you know what, we don't need the funding after all. We got a publisher, it's all just for stretch goals. Then there was nothing, no updates, nothing. So it was too much. Fans started pulling out, taking out their money, and of course the Kickstarter failed. So should they have been just a bit clearer, or should we just trust Inafune and say, you know, we trust you with the Red Ash?
I think anything that involves Kickstarter, anything where it's like, hey, I want to make this product, I'm going to make money off of, I think any person that goes and puts money into something like that should have it with a grain of salt, knowing that this product may look at the Ouya.
Yeah, the Ouya, which I wanted to invest in, I never did because, and then look at it, it failed completely after it launched.
A friend of mine has one. He has two, and he doesn't even use it. It's just
never uses it.
So essentially, when you're going into Kickstart, be aware you're taking a risk.
You are taking a risk.
I don't like Concept, the developer. Because I wasn't surprised when I heard that it was going to be pushed back again. I speculated that.
Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number 9. Because when people played the beta, they had it. Nobody said anything good about it. People who went to E3,
I went to E3.
Who played the game, didn't have good reviews also.
I will say that I played the game, and as much as it felt like Mega Man, it was just a little boring. And that's the thing. It was just like there was nothing. And they'll say, "Oh, it's because we're still in development. Yeah, but at this point, at this point in June, when the game's supposed to be coming out in 2 months, 3 months, the game should be almost near perfect.
So do you think it was because of E3 that they moved it to next year? Because of all the criticism?
They might have because of all the bad feedback, and then the Red Ash announcement. Is that a different team? Is that the same team?
That's the thing. When you play a Mega Man game, it's the feels of like nostalgia, you know what I mean? And with Mighty Number 9, I look at it and be like, okay, that looks cool, but if you told me it wasn't like Kenji Inafune, or if it was just another developer or something like that, I'd be like, okay, cool, that's what it looks like. It doesn't look like Mega Man. It might play like it, but you don't get
doesn't
like
look like it. And that was the thing with what was the other game that just recently came out? It was and I played it. Oh, Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight looked like Mega Man and Castlevania, and it was fun.
And it looked exactly like an old school 8-bit or 16-bit game, and it succeeded. It
played like DuckTales, like the bouncing like mechanic and stuff.
It
was awesome.
Which to tell you that I never actually played DuckTales when I was a kid.
Afuera.
Afuera.
I didn't start playing it until I got older on the Wii U.
Even I played it. I'm the baby.
I know.
Yeah, say that.
This guy's 10 years old and he played it.
But
Freddie does not know that life is like a hurricane.
But I did play Chip and Dale, and I missed that one. That was an amazing game. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Rep for time.
If you guys need any more information, make sure you keep it right here, where we'll give you all the latest geeky news. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
To break it down, all the stories, of course, please welcome Artists Without Borders right here, Rick Rosales.